morning, everybody. I am in Porto, Portugal, in a field, getting ready to go to a flea market here. I have no idea what to expect from the vintage scene in Portugal. I was in Portugal a few years ago, but never did any vintage shopping, and so I don't know what to expect. So I'm really excited. It looks like there's about 70 vendors here, and yeah, I got my cash ready. My husband is with me, so hopefully he can carry all the goodies I get. Maybe I have to buy a piece of luggage to take it all back in. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see what I find today. It's a cool brass piece. I'm definitely looking for brass that I don't see typically at home. I try to avoid stuff that I can buy all the time. So I love that floral and that candle holder right there that you can see holds a matchstick on that side, and then the candle on that side, which is really cool. Oh, strawberries. I do love a box I have to dig through. Oh, it looks like here's a Polish one, although he's seen better days, I think. It's a little bit water damage on the top. Some more boxes. Ashtray. What's this one? I do love digging through these. You never know what you're gonna find. I found the coolest baguette in Paris once. Is a baguette knife. One of my favorite things. That may be one of the largest peg racks I have ever seen. It's fantastic. So that wooden stool, I wish I could bring it home. It has like a compartment, I think, and I love the loop on the outside. So this is my one big purchase so far, a print of a nude for 50 cents. Everything has been so expensive. I don't know if that's just for me or for everyone, but this is my big purchase so far. Some pretty artwork. I came to this stall earlier and they didn't have the person who knew the prices, and the one that I wanted, which was right over here. It was like a moodier one, is gone. Although I do like that seascape. You guys know I have a hard time selling seascapes, but this one is feel pretty special, so I may ask for the price, and hopefully the person who knows the pricing is here now. So here are the paintings. This is the one I wanted, and it's $25. I'm debating with my husband if I can get them in my bag. So I love this Jesus plaque, but I can't make out how much it is because they keep telling me and I keep not knowing. I should have memorized the numbers before I came. But it's on a stand, and I think I may have them type it into my phone for me. Okay, so I got the Jesus plaque in the end, and so they typed it into my phone and my calculator, so that's a tip. That anytime I feel like I'm just not connecting with a buyer in terms of pricing, I'll have them type it into the phone, and that really does help. So that helped me in this situation. So it was €7.50, which I'm so excited about this because it's all brass. You guys know I collect religious things. So yeah, so there's a few things I have not shown you because it's awkward to film and negotiate at the same time. But we're getting there. We're on our second lap going around, and then we'll be done at the market. The ephemera in Europe is just so much more fun than what we have in the States. Love this little thing. So I just found this adorable needlepoint on this blanket, and it was only €2. So it is going into the bag. Love that statue in the back of Mary and Jesus. The crown is actually brass. Okay, so we did 2 laps, and I actually got stuff on the second lap. So always do another lap because you never know what you're gonna find the second time around. People bring stuff out. There were a few more vendors that showed up. I did find some stuff, so I was excited. It was hard because so often they look at me and they're like, "You're not gonna negotiate with you, lady." And then other people are like, €1, 50 cents. So you just have to not get discouraged, although I always do. I got a little bag full of stuff. I got some art, some needle points, and religious stuff. A lot of religious stuff because I'm always looking for that, and it's always so good in Europe. I am back at the Airbnb, and I wanted to show you guys all the stuff that I got. So some of it was not shown to you guys on camera because it's so hard to shop. and film at the same time. So I got this for 50 cents. This was either 50 cents or $1, and it's actually painted. It's been folded, so, you know, it's not perfect, but for €1 or under, I thought that was like a pretty good price. This was $7.50, and yeah, all the prices are in euros. This is €7, 50 cents. This I got at the very end. I'm so excited about it. It is from Lourdes, France. It is Saint Bernadette. So if you're Catholic, you're very familiar with that story. So I got that for €10. I got the sweetest little scale that actually has teeny tiny weights. So there's 3 little weights in it. I thought it was adorable, and I think this was €5. And then I got these 2 framed needle points. That one, the roses, I think was 3, and I think this was 2, which I thought was great. And look at how good they look together. Like, how did that happen? They're 2 different vendors. So yeah, I was really excited that I actually ended up finding some things worth buying at that market. So if you love vintage, I think that market may be worthwhile to go to. If you happen to be in Porto on a Saturday and you kind of want to do something like further afield from the city, we Ubered there, which was great because it was probably going to be like a 45-minute walk. And we were like, oh, do we want to do that? I mean, there's a lot of walking in Porto because it's basically all on a hill. And so our legs are already tired from a few days here already. So we're like, I think we're going to Uber. And Uber is really cheap in Portugal, very inexpensive. So I think there and back cost us a total of €10, which was great. So the market, I would say 75% of it is just household goods and junks, just stuff that, you know, like this stuff should probably be in the trash. But then there's the gems that you see. And like the stuff that I got, which I was excited about. And I got it at price points that I was excited about. I got there midway through the market. We didn't feel like getting up early. It starts at 8, and we kind of wanted to have brunch and then kind of ease into it. So maybe in the morning there was better stuff, more stuff, you know, I don't know. So that's always hard to say what you missed out on. But if there's also like little trinkety things, like souvenir stuff that was vintage, like little Portuguese pottery pieces and stuff that I didn't end up picking up because for me to bring it back, I'm limited on my suitcase, and it wasn't worthwhile for me to bring back. But if you didn't want to buy anything new from the souvenir shops and you wanted some like cute little pieces, you might be able to find them there. So yeah, I can't like fully recommend it as like, yes, when you're in Porto, you have to make this a destination. But if you have some time, it may be worth a look. So after a quick outfit change and dropping off the stuff, we hit the road to find some antique stores. Got to the street and they're all closed. Apparently they open at 3 p.m. Who would have thunk 3 p.m. in the afternoon? So thankfully there was one man open on the whole street, and I asked him like, why is everyone closed on a Saturday? Because I would have thought Saturday would have been the day. And he's like, oh, well, you're just too early. And I'm like, too early? It's 2 p.m. He's like, it's 3 o'clock. I'm like, oh, but this angel from heaven told us that there is an antiques expo in this area, 3 days at the big Expo Center, and he said pricing should be good. What? Like, I feel like maybe that was what I'm supposed to do, because of all the stores, only one on the whole street was open, and that was the one that told me about this expo that I had no idea about. So we're gonna get some lunch, well, practically early dinner at this point, and then I think we're gonna go to the expo, because guess what? That expo is open until the night. So I guess I'm just thinking of everything as my localized time, where, you know, things are done, you know, by 6 p.m. They don't go into the evening. I forget in Europe, they do things later. So yeah, so excited. So we're in the Expo Center, which looks very Expo. Doesn't look like there's many tourists here. So we might be some of the only. So yeah, fingers crossed we get something. Not seeing a lot of bags as people are walking out, which has me nervous. I showed you guys my small scale, and look at this giant one. And these are the weights. And look at how far down they go. A cute dachshund for $25. I've picked up many dachshunds before, but not one this size. So I'll have to keep this in mind as I shop around. This is the first booth I've really looked at. So my first purchase is this really pretty painting for $10. So I don't think it's particularly old. I mean, it's older, but not like an antique based on the frame. But it's really well done. And then I thought about getting this, and it's only €5. It is a framed tapestry, so I may have to come home too. I love this bird. It's wood and brass. That is amazing. So this is a plate of fish, ceramic. It gets busted up pretty bad, but it's so great. So I was excited. This is a $5 or €5 table. And if you look closely, you'll see something inappropriate that I probably won't take home. It was definitely a surprise as I panned around. Of course, I like those guys. This is a very pretty porcelain box for $10. Another €5 table with some pretty Portuguese pottery, a really nice crucifix, and penis things. You guys, we've seen several vendors with penis things. It's not a one-off, it's a thing here apparently. Some beautiful brass pieces. This one is so heavy, it's $35. And then this guy's $15. And look at how old that crab is, and I love finding locks with keys in it. So I fell in love with this box. It's leather with the brass feet and hardware. It's $60. It's stunning. Now this is a hand, you guys, for my hand collection. I just got a very cool candle holder from this vendor, and I'll have to show it to you. So this is the candle holder I got. This is really solid metal in wood, and it was €5. I lose my mind over brass hardware when I'm at places like this. Ooh, those are really good. So my very favorite thing, which is a pile of artwork just randomly tossed, and I pulled this one out and this one. They're both painted. This one is $20, and this one is also $20, which is kind of fun because it has a surprise on the back. Now, it is, pretty dusty, grimy, icky. My husband's like, you do not need to buy that one because I think it's scaring him. But I think I definitely will get this one because I think it's really good. Look at this owl. It is so cute. And I'm not sure what that is, but this is a very cool painting. So my husband asked what he should keep an eye out for, and I said busts like this. This one is $250, so I won't be getting it. But sometimes you get them really inexpensive, and they sell for at least $250 or more. More great artwork. Not terribly outside my budget, but $35 for that piece. This painting right here is $60. There's some really cool ones. Some brass pieces. I like these candles. I think I'm gonna get this little brass dish for $5. It's really sweet. So where I got the cute little seashell dish, I also pulled this out of a box, and it was $10, and I think it's really cute. Something about it just really struck me. It's definitely not looking great in this lighting. I think it'll look better to you guys maybe when I get everything out and show you what I got. So this flower is made out of wood, and it has a really old hook on the back, so I think it's quite old. And then these nutcrackers, people love them and they sell. I probably won't get one here, but I am tempted to get that. Oh, and then also I did get these two brass pieces for €10, which I was excited about. I love this porcelain Mary that you have for the holy water. You see a lot of those here. Oh, Russian nesting doll. Such a variety. Oh my gosh, look at that piece. Wow. I asked about that painting and it was over $500. Love this one. It is amazing. I mean, wildly outside my budget, but one can dream. This candelabra is stunning. So this is the damage. Several bags of great stuff. So we are back, and this is from today's picking, so not too bad. Although it was a lot of work to get this stuff, which is always the case, I feel like. When you're in a foreign country, it can be a little bit of effort to find some good stuff. So this is a print of actual famous artist, but it's really dirty, like it's very gross. But I just really liked it. And so I got it. It was €5. This painting was 20. This came from the same vendor. This was 10, which I know it's like super beat up, but something about it I just really liked. So I got it. And then this was 10. And then, oh yeah, I showed you all that stuff. So these are one of my favorite things I picked up. It is like glasses. And I love the fact that they say not to be taken away, because obviously someone did. So not sure where these are from. So my husband was looking them up and saw that they were selling for, gosh, like 30 or more euros is what he was doing, and just a little bit of research. So not sure how much they go for or where they're really from, but because of course they're all in English, so they could be from the States, but I just thought they were really funny. This is the candle holder I got. I think I showed you guys the metal. It's really, really heavy, and I just thought it was cool. I very rarely see anything silver and wood like that. And then this cute little trinket dish. Oh, this was 5. 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 The rest were 5. I was not going to get the owl actually, but the guy, we were struggling to figure out how to communicate with each other, and he didn't also want to get me change, I think, and so he's like, just have both of these for 10. So this one, of course, is going to my collection. It does not stand up on its own, so I'm going to have to use a little bit of stuff to stand it up, but I just couldn't say no to a brass hand. I think it's like some sort of pole for a lamp, maybe, because I think, oh no, it doesn't go through there. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I've not looked it up, but I thought this owl with the blue enamel was very cute. So yeah, it was a lot of fun going and shopping and finding these things on my trip. And I think that's all the shopping for this trip, unless I happen to stumble upon something. But I think I did good. I think I should be able to get most of the stuff in the luggage I brought, and this piece here I'm going to try to tape to my luggage. So gotta find some cardboard, gotta find some packing tape, but thankfully most of the stuff is not like super precious, so it should survive the journey home. So I'm at an outdoor market that we just stumbled upon, and there was one vintage vendor, and I will show you guys what I picked up. So this is my purchase, a little man on a stick. He's an oldie. He was €8, but I love these. They sell well, and when I can find the ones that are really, really old like this, I tend to pick them up. So this is the little market that's in this square, and it's a lot of handmaids and jewelry and really cute souvenirs. So when I was at that Expo antique market yesterday, I actually found an amazing one of these wooden like model like dudes, and it was an oldie because it was constructed very differently, and it had a painted, like a slightly painted face, but the rest of it was the natural wood. And I picked it up, and it was at a booth where the prices were pretty good, and then the dealer was willing to negotiate. So I was like, okay, I'm so getting this guy because he is so good. So I picked it up, and I'm like, how much is this? Thinking, I don't know, it'd be like 20 euros or something. It was like 800 euros, 800. And the guy's like, yeah, it's a very unique old one. I'm like, you're right, it is. He's like, yeah, they go for over $1,000. I'm like, wow. So don't sleep on these little guys, because you never know if you picked up one worth $800. So yeah, that was one of the things that hurt that I couldn't buy yesterday. So I just went into a ceramic shop because there are so many cute ceramic fish and pieces, and I wanted to kind of get to know the patterns a little bit because I do see Portuguese pottery at the thrift stores. So when I was in there, of course, there's a small section of penis mugs. And so I was just like, you know what? I keep seeing them. I gotta ask this guy. And it's apparently, it's a thing. It's a novelty thing. It's something that is part of their ceramic culture. Apparently, it's not just for like bachelor parties. It is an actual theme and genre of pottery in Portugal, apparently. So I thought you guys might enjoy that tidbit of information, because if you come here, you're gonna see them. So it's our last day in Porto, and the first thing on the agenda was to find some tape so I can secure all the artwork and the packaging that I need to do for the stuff that I found. And thankfully, there are several hardware stores on our street, and the first one we stopped at, which was literally next door to the door that we go in and out of, had one roll of packing tape. So after I found the tape, I decided to go on the hunt for some cardboard. I needed it to protect some of the art pieces that I picked up, and usually I just find cardboard in someone's recycling on the street rather than have to bring it with me on the plane. And I found myself on the most amazing street with so many vintage and antique shops. Of course, it was a day that most of them were not open. A few of them were, so I popped in and saw some really beautiful pieces. Many were outside of my budget, but it was really fun shopping. And I imagine I would have probably picked up more things if more shops had been open. So this is what's really frustrating about sourcing in Europe, is oftentimes stores don't show up in Google searches, and they don't show up in AI searches, and sometimes the businesses don't even have names or hours, and so it makes it really tricky to even find places to go. So I'm so grateful I did finally find the street. I just wish I would have found it earlier in the trip. So you guys remember that hand that I got at the market at the Expo? That, I think, is what it is. I think it originally would have held that thing and been on that base. It looks very, very similar to the one that I got. So maybe mystery solved. That could be what it was. That is so cool that I found this, and I actually may have solved the mystery before I went home. So I spoke to the man who runs the bookstore that had that hand that looked very similar to the one that I got at the market, and it is in fact a pen holder and paperweight in one. So that one was 40 euros, so a little more than I wanted to spend. But the thing that the hand held was a brass feather pen, which, knowing how cool the whole contraption is, I really, really want to find the whole one, but not for 40 euros. So hopefully I can find it somewhere else a little bit cheaper. But the little thing that it sat on that balanced it, it kind of looks like a, you know, a mortar and pestle, and I don't know which one is which, the stick part of it, like the thing that you use to crunch the stuff. It has a piece like that, and I have definitely found that piece before, thinking it was for a mortar and pestle, and now I'm thinking it actually might be for that, because it wasn't quite the right shape. So I feel like so many mysteries have been solved in the last like 5 minutes. That's why I love shopping in different places, because you learn so many new things. So this store is closed, and it's killing me because that is a brass Venus de Milo, and I want it so bad. I mean, wow. So I got the 2 mini paintings for €1 each, and I got that stone lidded pot for €5. So really good deal. That shop had good deals, so I'm going to show you where it's at. So this is the shop where I got the 2 little paintings and that lidded stone pot. They had really good deals, so you should check them out if you're in Porto. I can't tell you how many times I have been fooled by a hardware store that I pass, because there's always amazing brass, like finials and brass hardware in the windows, which of course like catches my attention. I'm like, oh, vintage, and then no, hardware stores. It's been dozens of times this has happened to me since I've been here. So I've been to a number of the pottery shops while shopping around, and to me this is one of the best. It has such a great variety, and it just doesn't feel touristy. It feels like you're getting in a handmade artisan piece, because I think a lot of them are actually done by people rather than like mass produced and then brought in for tourists. So I would definitely recommend this shop. So I bought myself a present, and you guys can imagine what it is. It is a fish, a ceramic fish, and I just love the wrapping. She used tissue and this cute little dried plant, and the sticker. It's just so aesthetic. So I am back at the Airbnb, and I'm getting ready to pack things up. So I think I'm gonna put that little piece of art, all the smalls, these pieces of art, the brass, that little dude. protected in these and then put them in my carry-on bag. This piece too, this is empty. And then the 3 bigger pieces of art. I'm just gonna actually just put a little bit of protective cardboard around them and just pop them in this bag. My husband doesn't have a hand luggage piece, so this will be his hand luggage piece, so that way we don't have to check anything. But this will be where I put all the cute goodies. They'll just go in this part of my bag. I thought I would show you guys my art sandwiches that I make. So I grabbed all this cardboard from the street, just out of someone's trash, and then I brought all these bubble mailers with me. And so I just am putting a protective layer of cardboard around this guy because it has glass. And then I will pop it in one of these bubble mailers, and that will be good enough for this piece. And then I'll use the rest of the cardboard to put a little bit of padding around the big pieces that are in that more giant bag right there. So I'll put a little bit around those so that way they're not rubbing against each other in the bag. I wanted to show you guys the little art pieces that I got for €1 each, and then this I got for €5. That's that lidded stone pot, which look at the color on this. It is amazing. I've never found a green like this, and I love how it's indented in. It's just a really cool piece, a really cool piece. These always sell really well, the stone lidded pots, especially if they have interesting details. So yeah, when I walked into the shop and I saw that this was $5, I was like, ooh, okay, it's worth looking around. There's other stuff I probably could have bought, but I'm trying to be good and not have to get another bag. At this point, we shouldn't have to buy a suitcase and have to pay for it to go underneath the plane. We should be able to just carry it on. So I was trying to be good, but I'm gonna go out in a little bit again, just one last look to see if anywhere else opened up, like towards the afternoon, and see. But yeah, I was really excited to find these. This one has, of course, some damage, which isn't a huge deal. I can kind of do a little repair work on this with some paint or leave it as is, because it is a rustic piece of art that I found in a very old building in Porto, so that kind of adds to the character. So I'm in the most amazing vintage shop that has every lamp you would ever dream of owning, and I just can't believe. So that sound is the sound of me getting the vintage brass statue that I saw earlier. If I could take this home, oh, so good. So this is the amazing lamp shop that I just went into and got my statue. So the last piece that I picked up was this beautiful painting. I just fell in love with it. I saw it in the shop. They were closed earlier. I went back. They were open, and I got it for €25. I thought it was really great. You guys know me, in a religious anything, so I just had to get it. Okay, so moral of the story is always go back and check to see if the shop is open later in the day, because 3 shops on that street that were not open earlier when I went around 10:30, 11 were open this afternoon after lunch, so around like 3:30, 4. So I was so excited, especially since it was 2 that I really wanted to go into because I had seen stuff that I wanted, the brass statue, this artwork. I was really hoping that they were some of the ones that were gonna maybe be open, and they were, which was awesome. So always make another loop around later in the day, because shops in Europe hold different hours than the ones in the States, which I always, have to be reminded every time I travel that people don't have the same hours and routine as we do in the States, which is not a bad thing. It just makes it hard for this American to plan my shopping around their hours, or lack of hours and lack of business name. Well, pretty much all the things that you would hope that a business have, so you could go back there, but that's okay. They can run their shop however they want, and I'm very grateful that they were open today. Back home in my studio space, and I think the question on everyone's mind is, am I going to sell this statue? And I think you know the answer. I am sorry, I'm going to keep her. I know that's going to destroy many of you because she is so good, but I felt like the way she came into my life was just 2 stars aligned for me to sell her, because I was so gutted that the shop was closed, and then I go back on a whim a few hours later and they happen to be open. She happens to be my price range, so I had to get her. And she will now be friends with this other brass nude. Apparently, a new collection has been born, although I think this one will take a little bit longer to grow, because I literally never find them. And the only time I have found them was in Europe, and I'm not in Europe that often. So I still can't believe I found a brass statue like that. It is like one of those once in a lifetime thrifting moments. So I'm sorry to break people's heart that she will not be available. But nearly everything else I picked up is going to be for sale. Like all of the original artwork, the print, even those adorable little floral paintings. I bet you thought I was gonna keep those. I'm not. I'm gonna try to sell them in their distressed state. And then if they don't sell, then I may try to do a little rehabbing on them. But those are gonna be for sale. The needle points, the black background needle points that I also wanna keep, I'm gonna make available for you guys. And oh, this painting, another I wanted to keep. This is gonna be available. Now I wanna mention that this cardboard here has some sort of like smell to it, or the painting has some sort of smell. Not bad. It smells like laundry is what it smells like. So for someone like me who's very sensitive to fragrance, I'm just like, wow, clean laundry. And if you were in the room, if you've ever been to Europe, you would smell this and you'd be like, oh yeah, that definitely smells like European laundry detergent or some sort of sheets. I don't know why it does, but it has that faint smell. So for someone who lives in a scented home, you might not even notice that it has a smell. But for someone like me who lives in a fragrance-free and scent-free home, anything that comes in that has a slight hint of floral, I notice. But every time I smell it, it makes me think of Europe, because it's definitely a scent that is exclusive to Europe, and it's not one that's found here. But I thought it was a really great piece. Just a little bit of background on it, just in case I haven't talked to you guys out of it, based on the clean laundry smell that comes with this. Apparently this came out of the estate of a painter who also was a teacher, and he encouraged his students to interpret like classic pieces of art and paintings in a way that like aligns with how they like to paint and their interests. And so that's what this was. It was one of the interpretations by one of his students, which I thought was really fun. I love this style of art, which is why I want to keep it. But I'm going to make it available for you guys, because I can't, if I'm keeping this really good piece, I feel like I owe you guys some of the other good stuff. So all of the cute little decor items like this brass owl, and these also I want to keep. I always have wanted to find a pair of opera glasses. These I don't think are them, but opera glasses, if you guys have ever tried to buy them, or if you do buy them, you know how expensive they are. And so this is like opera glasses adjacent, but I just love, they're plastic, but I just love not to be taken away. I mean, that is hysterical to me because someone stole them. But now one of you guys get to own them. So I guess it's a good thing that they stole them. I don't know. Or maybe they went out of business, or they got lost, and that's why we have them. Also, this cute little scale. It definitely is always a little bit not level, not balanced. But you have all these little weights you can use to try to balance it yourself. But I don't think no one's using this functionally. It's just for decor. And it is amazing. And the metal has great patina, and it's just a really cute piece. And then I can't believe I'm going to be selling this guy, because he's adorable. Now he definitely has some like pock marks here. And he does, and I'm not sure what this is about. If that is like painted, I have no idea. But his little feet, I mean, look at those little feet. Oh my God, I could die over it. I want to keep you. Okay. I have already photographed him to list. We'll see if he makes it up. You'll have to check, because he is just so adorable. And then this is also going to be available. And oh, that lidded stone pot is going to be available. The other things that are not going to be available that are for me are the loose pieces of art. I'm just going to keep them and maybe frame them. This I'm going to keep for myself. This was just too good. And he also has broken bits. Like, see this here? He is missing one over here. His thing here is kind of cobbled together. So he's definitely seen better days. And so I feel like, I don't know, I'm not comfortable selling him knowing he is in this distressed state. And also I kind of want to keep him. So he's for me. That weird hand that is actually supposed to hold a pen, that's going to be for me. And I think that's
everything. The needle points are going to be for you guys. The mini floral art, I think I already told you that. They're going to be available for you guys. So basically, most of the stuff that you saw is going to be available. Oh, I didn't show you guys my fish that I picked up at that store. And this is it. And this is not going to be available. It's new. I bought it for myself. And I just thought it was lovely, and I love the flowers. And I wanted something fish, being in Portugal. Portugal is known for sardines. And every type of tinned fish you can think of, that is something that Portugal, as a country, specializes in. And so you'll see a lot of tinned fish and a lot of fish types of art and souvenir pieces. So for me, who loves fish and is in my fish era, it's like the best place to be. So I had to get myself a fish, of course, while I was there. Okay, so everything that's gonna be on Etsy is linked down below. And if you don't see it, you can always send me a message. I think Etsy has taken away the ability to see sold items in someone's shop, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So if you don't see it, let me know, although I've tried to get most of the pieces that are going to be available listed by the time the video goes live. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching. I have so many more videos in this European sourcing series coming up. I mean, I was there a month. So I have a lot to show you. I brought back 150 pounds of vintage, and so we are only halfway through this sourcing series. I have all of the London stuff to show you, and there was a lot of amazing stuff at the markets and in the shops there, so I can't wait to show them to you. Thanks so much for shopping with me, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Take care.